Alright, it is Corporal Woodhull, and I've got the Miwa EC. This is technically, I think, a version of the EC, so it's EC model E6. So, as far as the E6, it does the same thing that does. It has 14 chambers, 7 on either side for magnetic wafers that are randomly pinned up. I think they're generally pinned up to 6 to 4, I think, is what I've seen. And so the model E6, which is this one, so simply the Miwa E6, comes with a extra set of an extra locking mechanism. It's the 6 dimple pins on top, with very tight tolerances and very reminiscent of the Anker 3800. But the difference between the 3800 is that there's not as many magnetic compartments or possibilities in the close proximity, but they also retract the magnetic wafers inside the plug in order to make it an open, whereas the EC and variants like the E6 here, they repel those magnetic wafers outside of the plug, so the plug could open, and that's it. And I've been having a very difficult time trying to figure out what's going on with this lock. I couldn't get it, so I had to end up gutting it, and essentially there's a back plate where it's spring loaded, and I think it starts right around here, maybe at the 6th pin spot. Or maybe right there, I don't know. But you got to push in order to see. Unfortunately for me, I've got the 7th pin on the back left, or magnetic wafer is on the very back left, and right here is as far as it goes in, and I've got to push it further to try to manipulate that outside of the plug. So hearing it rattle while holding onto a spring plate and rubbing back and forth, the noises are just pretty incredible for me to try to determine what I'm doing wrong or right. So I did pick this last night. It was very difficult, but with that being said, I don't want to get to it because it's going to be a long video anyway. Knowing me. So I'm using the Z-Bar number 10 by Multipick and Multipick Dimple number 6. And I'll be turning on the amplifier. I do like to hear the feedback of that those dimples give. I've got my headphones, sort of my gaming-like headphones around my neck, so I'll be turning those up, turning it up to where everybody could hear that whenever I get to the magnetic wafers. So those 6. Maybe 5. 1, 2, 3. Nope, I don't think we showed you the key worked. There's the bitting again, if you didn't see it. Very cool key. Got an extra Z-bar here just in case, but I should be able to pull this off with, hopefully with just this number 10 Z-bar. I put another one in there, that's because I overset or dropped the dimples whenever I'm going after the wafers, which happened to me a lot. So, and it's horrible when it happens. So. Sitting 1 and 2. I think we dropped 3. 4. We're gonna force underneath of that. That's sort of how we set for, because it's so low cut. I can't even lift it. And I think we're overset. I might be able to hear what I'm hearing right now. I got pretty bad hearing. So 3. Oh boy. 2, maybe 3. I think it's overset for sure. And you could be sure to every now and then, if you're having problems getting this open, if you have a key, give it a good open every now and then, or sometimes you could end up in a soft brick position, something like the Sergeant Queso. So yeah, if that's the case, the key won't work, or it will feel like that anyways. Just put it all the way in and give it a tight wrap on the back with maybe a rubber mallet, or it should be good to go. Okay. Alright, so we just got a small faucet. Hopefully we are 2 pins away from getting this. Pins 1 and 2 have gin spools in them. Not the hardest thing to overcome, to be honest. Okay, that was click out of 1 and go on after 2, and we should get the faucet that we want. Actually, right now, before I hit number 2, I'll go ahead and here it is. I'm gonna go mark. Last time I was going after number 7. It's because of all that feedback and distortion. I just was not paying attention. And then everything dropped on us, and I had to start all over again. That's not fun. Here's 2. There we go. And it gave us a little bit of a faucet. Not that much. Okay. So when you get into this position, I'm quite sure you should just be able to take it out. Yes, that's right. There's no spring tension throwing that core back. So at least in this format. So don't or experiment wisely. Let's just put it that way. And the number 10 fits perfect in here. It does control. I feel that it gives me full control. Should be the right side binding first. And I do have a sheet here that all my decoded I'm looking at off screen. Usually the first side I'm really nervous because this is where I'll drop into those dimples again, but I guess we will see. Alright, 2's definitely set. Going for 3. Okay, I didn't turn it up like I promised. I'll take them off my head here. Yeah, 3's good. 2 sounds good too. Alright, let's check the other side here. 4 on 5. Okay, so 4 and 5 seem good. I might not be set on the right side currently, but that's me pushing on that spring plate back there. Yeah, that's loud. All right. We got 2. Maybe we didn't have 3 set, or the right side. Let's see. 1, 2, and 3. We could have lost it trying to play with the left as well. Let's drop the dimple pins. Alright, we got it back. Luckily. Alright, I'm just gonna have to wear these headphones and try to practice this with these on. Sorry to cut you out on the audio. It still might be loud enough for you to hear, but I really have to pay attention to those small sounds. Number 7 is killing me. So, all right. All right, we're good on 2. All right. All right, lock yourself back up. All right, got some rotation. Should be 2 pins away. There we go. got 3. Alright, looks like we got both on the right. I hope. Let's see here. Strange. How to be picked. It's 3. Okay, I think we're setting the right again. Alright, so I think 4 or 5 are set. Going for number 7. And there we go. Only 27 minutes. 28. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this stuff. It's too many wires. That was a trip. Yeah, I think that was more difficult for me than the 3800, but take that for what you will, because I've only picked one of each. But the gutting on this is just ridiculous. And we're about to show you a little bit of that. I'm sure. Getting a few things out of the way here. A few things that we will need for the gut. Okay. So first of all, sorry, I got this manual focus where it's staying in one spot. So we see that it is clearly open. So lock it back up. All right. First things first, I put this staying frame. I had this little magnetic mat here. It's really nice to have. So we'll first start with this is where the spring plate is. You actually push on it from here. I won't need that. Getting the C clip off this is pretty difficult. There's a little washer here. I'm just gonna leave on there. And out comes a spring that is fitted inside of that and goes around that. And by that, I have no idea what that is. So no, it's some sort of that's the tail piece that fits inside the lock there. So I had to push that out to pick that wafer number 7. And gutting this thing, exploring it was just it was a nightmare. I think I already said that, but I had to figure out a lot of things for this lock. So I'll try to give you as much tips and tricks as I can. First, I mean, if you have that slider on top, go ahead and use that to dump the pins out. So that's what I always do from 6 to 1. So you can see here that was the front where we were picking. It's the back. Got some springs poking out. There we go. And I don't know how long I spent looking for one spring or one part or another. Whenever I first opened this thing, it was just bad. There is a little trick to getting this thing reassembled. Oh, what am I doing here? Well, I guess we could. So getting out chamber 6 here. And these drivers have that they on top to allow these springs to go inside. I just got some sort of message on my phone, so I'm gonna hurry up and try to gut this as quick as I can. I don't know what that was. Alright, so that's 2. Make sure your core is straight, or your plug, so the chambers are aligned. So if you're having problems getting those out, that might be why. There is some play. So that was 6, or 7, 6, 5, and we're going to 4. I was probably saying it backwards. So these are all standard drivers and key pins, except for the in chambers 1 and 2, where the key pins, or the drivers are gin spools. Here we go, first gen. Easy to grab onto. We'll get a close up here in a second. The key pin. Yeah, I mean, if I get a say in this, if anybody cares for my input, I'd definitely say this is a red level lock. It's something that you're not just gonna pick up and just go at it and open it up. Well, I guess it depends on who you are, but I didn't anyway. I was able to get the Miwa or the Anker 3800 open in under 24 hours because I had it out on loan. And this took me about 3 days. See, gutting this thing is going to be a chore as well, to keep it in frame. I don't know how I did this. This is one of the worst parts on here to get off. The C-clip remover doesn't fit on it. There we go. Okay, that's why I use those. And where's my other tool? Oh, come now. There. That is one heck of a C-clip. Okay, so the C-clip goes over this little disc right here, a little spacer, which goes over, and you have to pay attention because these magnetic wafers or the chambers, they're staggered, you'll see in the plug, but also this thing right here, you'll notice how the chamber on the, well, it's technically the right, but on the left there, this indented in there, and this is flush. That the reason for that indent is the dimple on this little spacer here, and that's to make sure that it stays in its spot. And then you've got one in front on the other side, for the left side, to keep it pushed back, if that makes sense, to keep it staggered. So, and that had me perplexed for the longest time. I didn't know they were staggered, and yeah, it was a bit of a gutting disaster. So with this, so if it's locked back up, they should all be in their respective positions. So I should just be able to push the plug, and I'm not sure if I want to do that. I think. Oh no. Well, I've always just taken it out. Like this is probably the worst way to do it, but so it's locked back up. I thought it was locked back up. Alright, so we're gonna move this back. Alright, so we'll see that we at least see that we got pins on the wafers, magnetic wafers on the right side, in chambers 2 and 3, and they're sprung up in there, just in case I lose anything. And then we are also looking for 4, 5 on the left. There's 4, there's 5, and the nasty number 7 back there. There's 7. Okay, so that's how it works. So this resting in that plug, when you put the key in, it pushes it away, allowing it to rotate. I thought this was fixed on for some reason. Nope, it's not. So once I release this, we have chaos. The key pins, or the magnetic wafers, they'll most likely just all kind of come together. But no worries about that. It's easy to fit them with the key. What I'm worried about is the springs. So I'm just gonna kind of put my hand. No, I don't want to cover it up with any material. With my hand, I just let it break apart inside. There we go. Okay. So the key pins did come together. See, the 2 and 3 are still on the right side there. there's the plug. So you got 1 and 2. We're missing 1. So we got 4. We have all the springs. I'm missing a key pin, or I keep calling them key pins. Probably because they fit to the key. Well, that thing is magnetic, so it should be hanging around here, but we did get to see at least all of it as it came out of the core, so. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna look around, see where it may have run out. Anything metal. Oh no, it's all 3 were together. I'm sorry. It looked like 2. 1, 2, and 3. They are together, and we'll do a close up on those. And we got the 2 on the right there. Let's do a close up on the plug, and you'll see right away how there's a space right here, and on the other side there's a space up front. So that's where you want your dimple to be, not the other way around. I made that mistake. So, and I thought it was bricked, and had to keep doing this over and over. Easy way to learn how a lock functions properly. It took a bit. Okay, so there's that. Let's check out the shell here. It's a light. Here we go. And now we'll do a close-up of everything. I'm going to try to separate these key pins, actually. Key pins, these are wafers, magnetic wafers, key pins. Okay. And you got to keep them away from each other. Pretty good amount of where they'll just kind of run together. I guess let's check these chambers out real quick. These aren't fixed. They do slide into that. There are grooves for it to slide into the shell, and without that, I think it would have been lost as far as reassembly. It's a nice little method I developed. I'm sure people have done it before. Let's bring these. I don't need any of the external pieces. Try to make this. Okay. So those 2 gens there. Everything else is just standard. Just the 5. And be careful whenever you're messing with that slider on top, or you can mangle. I about chopped that one's head off, but it managed to survive. And here are the magnetic wafers. They sort of look like sort of like shallow spools. I'm not sure if it's designed that way. It wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, there's that. All right, so that was the Miwa. What is it? This is the EC E6. All right, take care.